WCLU news coverage of the 2022 primary election is brought to you in part by Walbert Trucking in Glasgow. Are you looking for a new career where you'll be a part of a family-owned business for over 50 years? Walbert Trucking is a trucking company based right here in Glasgow. With Walbert Trucking, you'll get full benefits, great pay, and 401k. And you'll be home daily. Unlimited possibilities await you. Apply today and become a member of the Walbert Trucking team. 106 Sean Lane in Glasgow, 651-6784.
All right, well, welcome to our program today, Mr. Derek Pedigo. We're glad to have you here on our 2022 election coverage here at WCLU. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you, and we want to talk a little bit about you running for magistrate in the 2nd District here in Barren County. Of course, you'll be on the Republican ticket this primary election. So there's a number of things that we'll get into today with today's talk. But first, just introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Derek Pedigo, and I was born and raised here in Barren County. I've lived in District 2 for 28 years and been married since October 23rd of 99. I've got a daughter that's a senior in high school and a son that's a 6th grade at Austin Tracy.
All right, so you're a family man, it sounds
Yes,
like.
yes.
Very good. As far as some things you've done over those last several years, some involvement, what are some things you've been involved in?
Well, I've been a farmer most of my life, and I've been a service community. I work on farm equipment for the other farmers, and I go to their farms and I help them out.
Very good. So when we talk about, why you've been inspired to run for magistrate, obviously we've talked about it. The fiscal court is going to turn over a little bit because there are a number of magistrates who aren't seeking re-election. Particularly, you're running for Magistrate District 2, and that's one of those districts. Democrat Trent Riddle will not be seeking re-election.
Yes.
So what are some things you're hoping to bring to the table?
Well, I hope that we can bring some of the roads that's been neglected in the southern part of Barren County. I hope to bring that up because I have lived in that area since '98, and some of the roads just got bad spots that's never been taken care of.
Right. As far as some of those roadways that come to mind, is there anything that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, just some places on Payne Mill and Lee Carter Road, and
Right.
there's several of them.
Sure. Well, the District 2 area of the county we've talked about is that southwestern part of the county. Includes Barren River Lake in that area.
Yes.
So
Yes.
all that portion of the county there, a very happening spot when it comes to recreation and people visiting Barren County. But there's also a huge agriculture sector, which obviously bleeds into all the other areas in Barren County.
Yes.
You've mentioned you work on farm equipment and such. What are some things you're seeing day to day amongst the agriculture community here in Barren County?
Well, it's just the prices. Fertilizer's up, chemicals up, grain prices are down. Right now, the grain prices are good, but now this spring, when they go to putting crops out, the grain prices is not going to be so good.
Right. As far as moving forward in the next 4 years, if you're elected, how do you feel like the court might be able to help the farmers of the area?
I'm not for sure.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's all right. That's okay. When we talk about some things that you are inspired about running for, you mentioned roads. What about some of those bigger ideas? Not necessarily that you can single-handedly do, but maybe you can add perspective to on the court as a whole.
Well, I hope that we can work as a team and get stuff voted and going through like it should instead of at each other.
Sure. Well, when you talk about going at each other, we've talked a lot about that. And local government, sometimes it can get a little heated, with disagreements and such, but it's a huge statement when we talk about candidates that are looking forward to working together, because that's obviously what gets things done.
Yes.
Talking about students and kids in our community, you said you have a 6th grader at Austin Tracy. You have a daughter in high school, so I imagine that you're focused on, well, what's this community going to look like for them in the next several years? Does that go into your perspective?
Yes, and I want to have a good community for them to stay here and grow up in and help the community out, the whole county.
Sure. When we get into talking about maybe improving the community from a fiscal standpoint, from a money standpoint. Do you feel like we're in the right spot as a county with the way we're spending our money, or are we, where are we with that?
Yes, I think we're pretty spot on right there, yes.
When you think about Barren County, you've been here for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
You've worked in this community. You've raised a family here. What are some of the aspects that make this home for you? What's your favorite part of being in Barren County?
I just like the community and the people. And I've been all over the country, and the best people live here in Kentucky.
Right.
Well,
and obviously wanting to represent those people. Yes, you might be in District 2, being the magistrate from District 2, but you're clearly going to be a representative of the entire county, in essence, when it comes to those state-based projects.
Mm-hmm.
If I gave you 30 seconds to say why someone should vote for you, whether it's based off experience, whether it's based off of knowledge that you have, what would you say?
Yeah, I believe in honesty and moral principles.
All right. Honesty, moral principles, something that obviously is, a part of those conservative values that I imagine you hold as a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
When we move toward the May primary, you're a newcomer to the political scene. I imagine you might be like many others, this is something that you want to do based off of those principles. This isn't something maybe that has just come about randomly. I imagine that you've considered this endeavor. If you are elected and move into the role of magistrate, what's the number one thing you want your constituents to know about what you'd be doing from that point forward?
Well, I'd like for them to know that I can be the full-time magistrate. And if they need help, just give me a call and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, is there anything I didn't ask today that you'd like to include?
Not that I know of.
We appreciate you coming in today, Mr. Derek Pedigo, Magistrate for District 2 in Barren County on the Republican ticket this May primary. Again, we appreciate it and best of luck.
Thank you.